So I usually start these videos off by saying good morning on a Friday practice day before a competition. Well, I don't have that luxury this weekend. No Friday practice in my car, so I'm doing the next best thing that I can and visiting my good friend Ken King to get some practice on the gnarliest sim that I've ever been on, and probably the gnarliest sim that any of you have been on. So let's take a look and let's get in some hot laps, huh? All right, here we are with Ken King, the owner of this absolutely ridiculous thingy-McBobber. We're getting in some Chuckwalla practice, as I mentioned. Ken, as easily as you can you tell me a little bit about what this thing is and why it's so special?
Well, I was looking for the most realistic sim that I could help kind of, tone out the nerves in me when I was driving the GT3 Cup, the 99.2 actually. But it's, I called all over within the US and outside, and I came to a company that we partnered with, Visaro out in London, and we custom built this actual sim. It took about a year to make. Actuators, these are actually screw actuators rather than hydraulic, so that you can get that like ratchety thing. We're not going for a lot of big motion, we're going for all the little tiny detail. But it translates awesomely to a feel in which you actually get in the car.
Very tactile.
It's really awesome. And then to all the mechanics from like the actual real wheel, the real seat from the car. We created some one-off pedals, but with an actuator in there, so you get ABS and everything feel. But SimiCube has now come up with something that's actually a lot cheaper, just to buy it off the shelf. But obviously too, we got the top-of-the-line Visaro, which
so
makes it really
these are absolutely insane. 100%, they make it real life, and it actually gets your heart racing when you get in accidents because you think you're gonna die. But
oh, the VR?
The VR, but I like the triple screen, it's a little bit more relaxed, but if you're trying to get serious, the VR is the way to go.
Yeah, no, the VR, it's funny. You get a depiction into somebody's inner scream, I guess.
For sure.
Before someone hits the wall in VR, like some guys just scream like a little girl, some other guys don't let go of the wheel and break their wrist.
I'm a screamer and a clencher, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, this thing is super sick. Definitely the craziest sim that I've ever been on, and thanks, Ken, for letting me get some practice in.
Yeah.
All right, the Power Boy. Made it to Chuckwalla Saturday morning, came in late last night, cars unloaded, Need to do a few things to get the car ready, and then we're gonna go out for this first session. Haven't been to Chuckwalla with the aero, so it's gonna be a learning experience, but I'm gonna do my best to adapt quickly, and hopefully I can do something all right. Hopefully 1 minute 47 seconds or faster. Try to study some other people's videos and try to figure out my shift points and brake points and all those things like that, but it's kind of a guess at this point, so we'll see what happens, and we'll do our best today. Just got done with the first session, managed a low 147, or I guess a 147.4, so not that low. Should have been a 146, I blew it in the second to last turn in the double right-hander. Yeah, I looked at data, and there's not too much to make of it just because I only did 2 hot laps. I tried to do an additional third lap on the first session, but the tires were just at a point where they didn't want to operate anymore, and I was experiencing quite a bit of understeer. So I'll go out on the second session, I'll try and get a 46 again. I don't know if it's there. The car has a pretty big fall off later on in the day, and it is getting a little bit warmer, so I'll do my best to keep it clean. Chuckwalla is a track where you definitely can't push. The harder you push, the slower you go here, so I'll try and be relaxed and smooth and get my braking done early, get the power done early, and yeah, hopefully I can get a little bit closer towards 146. I know there's a ton of time on the table. I know there's a 145 in this car here. But yeah, first time in Chuckwalla with the aero, and I think going out on my second lap ever here with the aero, getting a 47 is good enough. So yeah, let's just keep digging. So just did my second session, and I was able to knock off 2 46s. I believe the first one was a 46.4, and then the second one was a 46.3. So I think I'm there, but I took a quick look at the data, and there's a pretty big delta between the 2 laps throughout the lap. So clearly I'm leaving a lot of time on the table because I'm faster in certain sections of one lap and faster in other sections on the other lap. So I'm looking at it a little bit, and it looks like I need to come off the brakes a little bit sooner in most turns, and just try and carry the speed and use the front wheels to kind of scrub that speed and get that car set up to be able to get on power as soon as possible. Also, I need to get on power quicker coming out of the bowl up over the hill, and I think maybe brake a little bit later at the bottom of the hill before I go into the cyclone, or the Chuckwalla cotton corners, whatever you want to call it. And I think if I implement those things, I can probably knock off a 45, but it is going into the third session, so tires are getting worse and the temps are getting higher. But yeah, I'll do my best and we'll see what happens. Wrapped up the third session. Very unlike me to do a third session because I always like to get it done in the first, but since there was no practice this weekend on Friday, just had to go out and try and get faster throughout the day. And since it was my first time at Chuckwalla with the aero, I had quite a bit of learning to do, but luckily I got in a few laps on the sim and studied some other people's videos, like I said, and yeah, went out and got the 45 in the third session, which was good enough for the Bimmer Challenge class record, which I'm pretty stoked about. And yeah, I think the biggest things that I had to remember about Chuckwalla is it's just a completely different track than everywhere else, and you really have to drive the car smooth. So, coming off the brakes as early as possible and trying to scrub as much speed as possible, getting on power as soon as possible is pretty much the key in every single turn. And looked at the data and applied all that type of information and was able to successfully get a 45, which just lets me know that there's quite a bit of room on the table to improve in the coming months. Hopefully I can get there at the beginning of next year with a set of fresh tires and a practice day. And yeah, let's chase some 44s in 2 weeks out from the last round of Bimmer Challenge. Let's just keep going faster. So, favorite thing ever, celebrating with double doubles and chocolate shakes. Let's get it.